Tonight, round 2. Former Vice President Joe Biden, South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg, California Senator Kamala Harris, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, author Marianne Williamson, and former tech executive Andrew Yang. NBC News, Decision 2020, the Democratic Candidates Debate. Live from the Adrian Arst Performing Arts Center in Miami, Florida.
Climate change as well.
And some quick rules of the road before we begin, and they may sound familiar. The candidates will have 60 seconds to answer.
We will hear from everyone.
So, with that business taken care of, let's get to it. My question to you is, will taxes go up?
And by that I mean tax on Wall Street.
Vice President Biden, recently in remarks to a group of wealthy donors, you said, we shouldn't, quote, demonize the rich. Nobody has to be punished. Nothing would fundamentally change. What did you mean by that?
What I meant by that is, look, Donald Trump.
Vice President Biden, thank you. Senator Harris.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, my God.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Trump is a phony, that Trump is a pathological liar and a racist. Trump.
Because the truth is the greed of the NRA. It's the greed of the insurance companies and the drug companies.
Senator,
because the truth is if you have a buy-in over a 4 or 5 year
Senator,
period.
Say hello and good evening, buenas noches to Mayor Buttigieg.
Buenas noches, gracias de invitarnos.
Gusto en verlo, caballero.
Empezamos hablando del debut en Liga en el Santiago Bernabéu, ese partido contra el Betis. ¿Cómo está el equipo, Gareth? ¿Cómo llega a ese partido? Y sobre todo, ¿qué le puedes decir a la afición de cara a ese debut liguero en casa?
Mr. Yang, your signature policy is a value-added tax, so you can spend that $1,000 on value-added tax?
Sorry? Companies like Amazon, trickle-up economy, trillion-dollar tech companies, particularly as technology is now automating away millions of American jobs. It's why Donald Trump is our president today, that we automated away...
Settle down, Joe. You're doing good. You got it under control. What's this guy looking at? Is he trying to read my mind? If anybody reads my mind, all they're going to see is kittens and puppies.
Hey guys, you know what? America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table. Yes? This president walks around talking about and flouting his great economy, right? My great economy, my great economy. You ask him, well, how are you measuring this greatness of this economy of yours? And he talks about the stock market.
Mayor Buttigieg.
Look, Medicare for all. Like England, from here to there.
Senator Sanders, you basically want to scrap the private health insurance system as we know it.
Top 10 companies.
Excuse me. I'm addressing the question, Ms. Williamson. We've been talking a lot about access to health insurance, but for many Americans, their most pressing concern is the high cost of health care. How would you lower the cost of prescription drugs?
It has to do with chemical policies. It has to do with environmental policies. It has to do with food policies. It has to do with drug policies.
Thank you.
It has to do with environmental
Senator Bennett, a question
and only
for you.
love
You
can
want to keep
cast
the
that
system
out.
that we have in place
So
with
I,
Obamacare
sir,
building.
I have
You
a
mentioned
feeling
that
you know what
before.
you're doing.
Is that enough?
I'm going to harness love for political purposes. I will meet you on that field, and sir, love will win.
Rachel, I had a dream that we've done this before. No,
this is definitely
didn't happen.
the first time.
Definitely first time. Thank you, Lester, Savannah, and Jose. Let's quickly recap the rules one more time. 20 candidates.
I would like to speak
I
on the issue of race.
Senator Harris,
If
I could preface this, we will give you 30 seconds of this. We're going to come back to you on this again in just a moment. Go for 30 seconds.
Okay, and I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. There is not a black man I know, be he a relative, a friend, or a coworker, who has not been the subject of some form of profiling or discrimination. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me. So I will tell you that on this subject, it cannot be an intellectual debate among Democrats. We have to take it seriously. We have to act swiftly. As Attorney General of California, I was very proud to put in place a requirement that all my special agents would wear body cameras and keep those cameras on.
Senator Harris,